You have so many questions about COVID-19, how to keep yourself safe during this global pandemic, and every day at this time, we try to get to answer those questions that you need. Joining us again this morning is infectious diseases specialist, Dr. Isaac Bogosh. Good morning to you, doctor. Thank you yet again for coming in and answering these questions. Let's jump right in, shall we? If animals can get it, do we need to worry about catching it from eating infected livestock? We know that there's a tiger that got it somewhere in the United States, so what about livestock?
No, it's a great question. And I think it's important to recognize that, taking a step back, this is from bats. It probably jumped from bats to another non-human animal and then into humans. So there's probably some animals that can get this, but it doesn't mean every animal can get this. And it's not quite clear which animals can get this. What also isn't clear is which animals can get this and which animals can transmit this. So I think this just raises a lot of questions, and we don't actually have all the answers. Currently, to date, there's no evidence that livestock is involved. Of course, we all have to keep an open mind, but we haven't seen this to date. And of course, when we're eating, meat, we generally cook it or it's processed in some way. So I think the risk of getting this from livestock is extremely low at the consumer level.
A lot of people are curious as to why the isolation recommendations are different from country to country, like the UK, where it's only 7 days.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, we're all looking at the same data. No one has, magical data that shows that, it's different in one place than another. We're all looking at the same data, and policy is driven by this data. And, it's not unheard of to have different public health policy in different parts of the world. It's interesting, though, and when we look at what the majority of countries are doing, the 14 days does seem to be the norm. But, each to their own. And the other thing that's neat is that sometimes we see adjustments in public health policy as well. So nothing is really set in stone, and we might see countries adjust based on emerging data or a better understanding of this data.
Doctor, one of our Instagram followers asks, can stress weaken your immune system, and would that put you at greater risk of severe infection?
No, that's a really interesting question as well. And this is a huge area of research looking at, these mind-body interactions. And we certainly know that stress can have some effects on the immune system. But of course, to what extent is it going to actually affect someone's susceptibility or management of this? I mean, it's easy to say, no, and brush this off, or it's easy to say, of course. But the real answer is this is an active form of research, and there's many researchers who are looking at unrelated to COVID-19, looking at mental health and the interaction that plays with infectious diseases. So I would say that that's still an unanswered question, and it's a fascinating area of research.
All right, this one from Facebook: with the warmer weather approaching, do we need to be concerned about contracting the virus from mosquitoes?
Yeah, also a great question, because we know that this is COVID-19 is a respiratory virus. We don't have data from COVID-19, but we know that there's other coronaviruses out there that many of us have had, because some of these cause the common cold. We know there's other respiratory viruses like influenza, and the list of respiratory viruses is, quite frankly, longer than my arm. None of these are transmitted by mosquitoes. I think this would be it would be extremely unusual that this is COVID-19 would be transmitted by bug bites.
Dr. Bogosh, thank you so much yet again answering our questions. I think it makes a lot of people feel a lot better who are watching the show. We appreciate your time.
Anytime.
And you can keep your questions coming on our social media and then check back here. We will take a look at all those questions and try to get them answered for you.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.